ஸ்ரீமதி ராமானுஜாயம்மா ஆழ்வார் எம்பெருமானார் ஜீய திருவடிகளே சரணம். ஆச்சாரியன் திருவடிகளே சரணம். ஸ்ரீமதி ராமானுஜாயம்மா. श्रीवादोलरमा प्रवाळरुचिर श्रक्सैनि नाथांश जय शुकुर्वीन्द्र महार्य लब्ध निज शतं शताभिशतं श्रीरामानुज मुख्य देशिकलसत्कैङ्कर्य संस्थापकं श्रीमद् वेङ्कटलक्ष्मणार्यमिनं तं सद्गुणं भावये जयाप्ते सिंहरोहिण्यां सञ्जातं सद्गुणार्णवं श्रीशैललक्ष्मण मुनिं वन्दे वात्सल्यवारिधिं श्रीवादोलरमानिवास सकुरोह पादाब्जसेवारतं मात्रेऽन्वय वेङ्कटारि कृपया सम्प्राप्त वाक्वैभवं श्रीशैलेशयतीश सुन्दरवर सम्प्राप्त तुर्याश्रमं श्रीयप्पन् परकाल सम्यमिवरं सेवे कृपाम्बोनिधिम्. ஆழ்வார் எம்பெருமானார் ஜீய திருவடிகளே சரணம். ஆச்சாரியன் திருவடிகளே சரணம். श्री शैलेशदया पात्रं दीपक्त्यादिगुणार्णवं यतीन्द्र प्रवणं वन्दे रम्यजा मातरं मुनिं लक्ष्मीनाथ समारम्भां नाथयामुनमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां यो नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुज युग्मरुक्म व्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये. माता पिता योदयस्तनया विभूतिः सर्वं यदेव नेमेन मदन्वयानामाद्यस्य न कुलपतेर्वकुलाभिरामं श्रीमत्तदङ्घ्रियुगलं प्रणमामि मूर्ध्ना भूतं सरश्च महतः होयभट्टनाथ श्रीभक्तिसारकुलशेखरयोगिवाहान् भक्ताङ्घ्रिरेणुपरकाल यतीन्द्रमिश्रान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमुनिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम्. Namaskar, Swami. Today we are going to see Bhagavad Gita Chapter 2. Adiyan. The word Adiyan means your humble servant. It's a Tamil word. Adiyan might use a couple of Tamil words here and there. Adiyan is trying to do this in English. Initially, it started with Tamil. The first part was fully in Tamil. Later, Adiyan thought that I could do it in English because some of the Goshti members, some of our friends, community members, they can't understand Tamil. Because of them, Adiyan thought it would be better if I did this in English. So first, I chanted Alvar Acharya Saniyan. Let me chant Bhagavad Gita Saniyan. Vasudeva Sudam Devam Sachanura Martanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Mande Jagatkum. This is Krishna's Saniyan. Bhagavad Gita has its own set of Taniyans, shlokas that people normally chant before they commence Bhagavad Gita. Adiyan don't go so deeper into those kind of things, because as I always say, maintain that it is not a upanyasam. This is not Kalakshevam. So the Adiyan try to avoid those things to save time. So we can spend the time on learning Bhagavad Gita. I read from books such as this one, like Bhagavad Gita Telugurai. It's written mainly in Tamil. This is based on the Upanyasam of Karappangadu Swamigal. When I say Karappangadu Swamigal, again mean Karappangadu Venkatacharya Swami. He's Jnanacharyan for Asmadacharya, Sri Appan Parakala Ramanuja Embarjya Swami, who attained his Acharyan's lotus feet last year. So this book, published by Acharya's publication, which is known as Thirumal Padipagam. Padipagam in Tamil means like publication. Yeah, so they published this book, and when Adiyan took Panchasamskaram from the Acharya, after the Panchasamskaram initiation, Adiyan was given a Bhagavad Gita book by Asmadacharya. He personally signed. So Adiyan used that book. The same, not same, like a same book, but his signature will be in a different book, like a similar kind of like a. Because when I say similar, you might think these books are similar, but the explanation can be slightly different. No, same version, everything, but different book. I cherish that book. I don't use that book much because it has this signature of Asmadacharya, and he has written the Pasuram from Thiruvaimozhi, Kannan Kadalinai Nannum Manamudayir Ennum Tirunamam Thinnam Naaname, because Adiyan used to say Radhe Krishna and words like that. Seeing my Krishna Bhakti, Acharya explained, because Adiyan took Panchasamskaram, then Adiyan is supposed to chant Dvayam, Tirumandram, and some shlokas like that. Sharma shloka, we have a Sharma shloka, everything as part of Sri Vaishnava. So as Adiyan was chanting other mantras, Acharya actually sat me down and explained the significance of Tirumandram and Dvayam. And he also explained, because people might have various distractions, even in the Bhakti Margam, because you happen to read a lot of things that might not be authenticated, like original versions of Bhagavad Gita. Now, because I've read a lot of books before Acharya's Bhagavad Gita. So my understanding was kind of like very confused one. Even Bhagavad Gita, I have read some from Advaitam, some from Dvaitam, and Visishtadvaitam was something I didn't read much. And I even followed the Hare Krishna's version. I still have those books with me. But now I understood what Visishtadvaitam is all about. So now any book you give me, whether it is Advaitam, Visishtadvaitam, or anything, Adiyan has the ability to understand the purport of the Bhagavad Gita, the true meaning of the Bhagavad Gita uttered by Kannan Emperuman, which is actually spread by Merumanar. Ramanujar is known as Emperumanar. In Visishtadvaitam, we call Ramanujar as Visishtadvaitis. All the Sri Vaishnavas who follow Visishtadvaitam, in this Sampradayam, we call Lord Krishna as Emperuman, and Ramanuja as Emperumanar. So we add more significance to Ramanuja, the Acharya, because of the Acharya's grace, because of the Acharya's anugraham, we actually get the essence of Bhagavad Gita. We learn, because when you look at the shloka, they are all written in Sanskrit. We don't speak Sanskrit at all. Most of the people, there could be a few people who could speak, like Sanskrit, but most of us, like me, I don't even understand Sanskrit, like little words here and there, because of my mother tongue Telugu. Because Telugu has a lot of Sanskrit words in it, and because of that, I could understand some words. But I don't understand Sanskrit. Even those who speak Hindi might be able to understand a little bit of Sanskrit. I don't speak Hindi also, thanks to Tamil Nadu's Dravidian movement, due to their special efforts. I never got an opportunity to learn Sanskrit or Hindi. Jokes apart, Bhagavad Gita has a lot of translations written by various acharyas and scholars. So it could really be very confusing for us to choose. But for Sri Vaishnavas, once you take the Panchasamskaram, due to your acharya's anugraham, those confusions will slowly fade away. And so I now follow this book. even if I get to read any book, the anugraham of Acharya will help, will guide again to learn the true meaning of the Bhagavad Gita. So I automatically, you're trained. That's for training. So you have to rigorously train yourself to understand the Visishtadvaitam. So Panchasamskaram is not like something like a ritual. You go to your Acharya, get some ritual done. No, it is something, you understand. You spend time in learning the teachings of Ramanujacharya, Alvas, and all the Purvacharyas, still Manavala Mamnigal, and there are many more acharyas after Manavala Mamnigal to till we fondly call Kanchi Swami, like Pradivadi Bangiramanna, Anangacharya, the lineage, that because I'm from Kanchipuram, so I happen to have that I mean, like, interest in learning the books, Granthams written by Pradivadi Bangiramanna Swami as well, Kanchi Swami. So we learn a lot. Then when you learn something in Tamil, there is a saying, "Ettichirakai karikku udavadu." Like in English, fine words better, no parsnip. People say that saying, So the beautiful words won't make any sense unless you put that into action. So Bhagavad Gita explains what a Sri Vaishnava should do, the Varnasrama, because in modern days, you come across a lot of things. People speak a lot of things, uh, um, like they quote Bhagavad Gita and give some meanings, but they misinterpret them according to their convenience. Because if they want to prove or disprove any point, they use Bhagavad Gita, they use Tirukural, they use Alvas Divya Prabandham. They use various works of Alvar Acharyas, even Krishna himself, and twist the fact presented in them according to their agenda. That's why it's very important for us to learn from proper source and fully. And you can't take something from one chapter blindly, just like that. You have to learn systematically from chapter 1 to till end. Then you will get an idea. You will grasp the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. Any Grantham, even if it is a Ramayanam or Mahabharatam, any Grantham, any books for that matter, you have to learn systematically, right, from the first part of it to end. And then only you can understand. So, in the Bhagavad Gita, like as we saw in the last session, we kind of understood why the first chapter was put out in such a way that it contained various information about the various soldiers and all the great kings and people who participated in the war, and also about their conch that they used. Though the first chapter sounds not so significant in terms of philosophical point of view, you can still see, why those things were mentioned, because it talks about the anxiety of Duryodhana, predicament of Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra, and the role of Sanjaya, who was very neutral, who just presented what happened as it was. He did not change anything. He was very impartial. So even though he was a personal assistant to Dhritarashtra, he did not take any sides. He was quite neutral. So you can see those things in the first chapter. Then you can see the predicament of Arjuna and why he was anxious too. Was he anxious because he was lacking the skill to win the war? No, it was not that. He had the skill. He was even arrogant. He asked Krishna to take him to Duryodhana's army. I mean, like he wanted the chariot to be placed in the central of the battlefield so he can assess the enemy, their strength, everything. He was quite arrogant in the sense, very proud. He was not at all worried. whether he could win, because their size is relatively small, because he knew very well that Krishna's army was also given to Duryodhana. Because when Duryodhana and Arjuna met Krishna, Duryodhana was given the army of Krishna, whereas Arjuna was given the blessings, of Krishna, that Krishna would personally be his chariot driver. So it means like only Krishna, just from the political perspective, just imagine, even if someone says something like that in the modern times, you want only me or my entire, like millions of people who would be part of my army, people would choose that. People won't choose such a single man, because even till now we debate whether Krishna was almighty or not. So people have, we all have this wavering buddhi, wavering knowledge. We won't choose the right one because we want to have that trust. You need to have that trust Arjuna had in Krishna. That was why, whether the choice was given to Arjuna first or second, it would not have mattered at all. Arjuna would have chosen only Krishna, and he would have been more than happy had Krishna become the chariot driver of Arjuna. That was beautifully said in the Mahabharata. So, the reason I was saying all these things is to make you understand the size of Duryodhana's army. It was very huge, tremendous. If you compare, it's such a huge army with the small army of Panchapandavas, it would be impossible for anyone to think that Panchapandavas would win the battle. For ordinary people, for the Jivatmas, who are clouded with Ahankara, Mamadesa, Ahankara, and all the false prides, egos, everything, So, but despite that, the first chapter helps us to understand the predicament of all of them. Duryodhana was not very confident. He just went to Dronacharya and discussed about the great disciples of Dronacharya, because they were all very competitive. Each one had strength. Arjuna, all the disciples of Dronacharya, right from Arjuna to Bhima to Dharma, even Duryodhana, they were all given with special skills. But the best warriors, best students, best disciples of Dronacharya, they were with Panchapandavas. So he wanted to remind that you taught them, so be careful. Don't show any special consideration onto them, because they are against you. Like that, then he was also trying to protect Bhishma, because they knew Bhishma is Pitamaha. He likes Bhishma generally. In general, we all, when you read Mahabharata, you would know Bhishma had a special love towards the children of Pandus. So Duryodhana was trying to say, let us protect Bhishma also, because the reason he was saying is not the protection from Pandavas, even protection from even the change of heart from the Bhishma too. He didn't want any change of heart to happen in the battlefield. He did not want Bhishma to desert Duryodhana. So the first chapter was discussing all these things. Then Arjuna's predicament, despite being very proud in the beginning, he later slowly transformed into very anxious person, from very confident to so anxious. So why he became very anxious? Because he was worried of Kulanasham, destructions of a community. He wanted to protect the community. The sole purpose of winning kingdom is to serve community. You want people to live very happy, in a harmonious way, and in a very nice way. The reason for that is serving people. So community spirit. So community is made up of children, women, men, and all varnashrama. The varnashrama is nothing but the social system, the roles and responsibility of the community. The community was divided into various departments. Each department, each sect was governed by people with certain roles and responsibility. That's what Kuladharma, Varnashrama, we call that. Even in modern days, can somebody become a civil servant without writing civil exams? You have IAS. Can you go to a university and become an IAS? No, you get special training to become an IAS. You have to get special training to become a doctor. You have to get special training to become a lawyer. Similarly, in those days, people had to administrate the society so that the society could function in a proper way. So the Varnashrama was based on those things. But what happens eventually, we all see that, even in modern politics, you say it's Makkalachi in Tamil. It means like people's government. But is it always like that? Sometimes movie people, the actors and the actresses, they just act in movie. Would you go to when you're sick, extremely sick? Just imagine you have a very serious health condition. Who would you go? The person who won national award for acting in a movie as a doctor or a true doctor? But nowadays, the concept has slowly changed. We are on the path of adharma. I'm not against anybody like movie actors. Or their job is to act in movie. If they stop with that, I won't have anything to say here. But when you become very famous, people want these famous people to rule them. They don't even see. That's why adharma. That's a decline of dharma. When adharma prevails, people lose their ability to think properly. They choose actors, actresses. We spend more time on movies. We spend more time on entertainment. I don't say you should not watch anything that is entertaining. We need entertainment, but the entertainment itself has become kind of, uh, very unhealthy. I don't want to sound very critical of anybody, but without being critical, you can't. When you question injustice, you become critical. So it would be very great, and like if people like even those who actually prepared themselves for civil service, like IAS officer, IPS, and those people, even lawyers, even doctors, health department should be managed by those who have those sort of skills and expertise. Similarly, the administration, the IAS officer, they can also they become ministers and all, isn't it? Like, but unfortunately, the trend is like movie actors and other celebrities, sports people, they become the ministers. So it is very concerning. So Bhagavad Gita will help us to understand why there is adharma, how we can overcome this adharma, how we can get better. So let us go to chapter 2. So as I say, I read the book in Tamil. I also keep something in English with me. The English one is based on ISKCON version as it is. But I try to emphasize the philosophy of Visishtadvaita. Because Visishtadvaitam is like based on Vishnu's teaching. So I didn't follow that. So now, chapter 2. Let me first say Gita Sangraha. As we know, Gita Sangraha, Gita Sangraha was written by Alandar. It is essence of Bhagavad Gita. So I would chant the Thanina for Alavandar. Only for Alavandar, I chant the Thaniyan. Yet Padam Burhadyana Vidvasta Shesha Kalmashaha Vasata Mupayatoham Yamunayam Namamitam. This is Alavandar Thaniyan. Yesterday we saw the first one. Second, the second chapter is like a sixth sloka of Gitartha Sangraha, but I'll read from 2 to 6. Jnana karmatmike nishte yoga lakshye susam krute atmanubhuti siddhyarthe purva shatkena chodite. मध्य में भगवत तत्व यदाज्ञावाप्ति सिद्ध्ये ज्ञान कर्माभि निर्वत्यो भक्ति योग प्रकीर्तितः प्रधान पुरुष व्यक्त सर्वेश्वर विवेचनम कर्मदि भक्तिद्यादि पूर्व शेषोन्ति मोदितः अस्तान स्नेह कार्पण्य धर्माधर्मदियाकुलम पार्थं प्रपन्न मुक्तिश्य शास्त्रावतरणं कृतं नित्यात्मा संग कर्मेह गोचर संख्य योगदीः द्वितीये स्थित दिलक्ष प्रोक्ता तन्मोह शांति. This one is sixth one. This is actually the shloka for chapter 2. I have Tamil version with me. I'll just read it out because it's our Acharya's book. So, இரண்டாம் அத்தியாயத்தில் அர்ஜுனனை பார்த்து சரீரம் அழிவுள்ளது, ஜீவன் நித்தியன், பரமாத்மாவான தன்னை போல அழிவில்லாதவன் ஜீவன், அவரவர் வர்ணாசிரமத்திற்கு சேர சாஸ்திரத்தில் சொல்லப்பட்ட கர்மானுட்டானத்தை செய்தே தீர வேண்டும். இப்படி வெகுகாலம் செய்து வந்தால் சித்த சுத்தி உண்டாகி ஆத்ம சாட்சா்காரம் பெறக்கூடிய ஞானயோகம் கைப்புகும். நீ மோகத்தை விட்டுவிடு என்று அர்ஜுனனை பார்த்து கண்ணன் தேற்றினான். So the meaning, I'll try to explain, like translate as much as I can in English. In the chapter 2, the essence of the chapter 2, according to Alavandar, is the sarira. Sarira means our body. Body can be destroyed. But the soul within the body cannot be destroyed. The Paramatma is also, we know, Paramatma can't also be destroyed. So both Paramatma and Jivatma, they both are indestructible. We have to do the karmas according to our Varnashrama Dharma. So we have to follow the Varnashrama Dharma, the duties prescribed for the particular Varnashrama Dharma. Each and every one of us fall into some Varnashrama in general. So we have to do the duties prescribed according to the Varnashrama Dharma. So if you do like this for a long period of time, for a long period of time, you will get jnana, the knowledge, wisdom. You will become wise as you keep doing your karma. Karma anuttanam. Karma means your duty, prescribed according to the Varnashrama Dharma. That's a very emphasized one. Again, Varnashrama Dharma is not about caste system, which is prevalent in modern India or anywhere in the world. This caste system was introduced to India during the time of British. When they colonized us with their own theories too. So the caste system is from the British. It's not from India. So though the British try to manipulate and the colonizers try to manipulate and make us think that the caste system was indeed India's own hierarchy or structure or some principle. It's not that. You take any granthams, any books written 1,000 years ago, Visishtadvaita, I mean, they never contain the words like caste and those things and all. So we have only Varnashrama Dharma. Again, as I say, Varnashrama Dharma Kshatriya it talks about certain qualities. Who can be a Kshatriya? Who can be a Brahmana? Who can be a Shudra? The qualities. It's not talking about any birth order. And even it doesn't say just because a person is Kshatriya or Shudra or Brahmana, one is greater than the other. There's nothing like that. It talks about the people's strength. Some people will be naturally inclined to certain qualities, certain characteristics. It talks about these characteristics. It doesn't talk about who can be greater than who. Never. So, Sanatan, that's why all Jivatma, in the second chapter itself, Alavandar clearly says there is only two categories, Paramatma and Jivatma. All Jivatma are same. Even Paramatma, there is some similarity between Paramatma and Jivatma. Both can't be destroyed. But the similarity ends with that. The quality of Paramatma is different from the qualities and characteristics of Jivatma. Paramatma is Shuddha Swarupam. Jivatma can be contaminated with various things, ahankara and pride, anger, kama, krodha, and all those things. And Paramatma, he doesn't have those qualities, those bad qualities in him. He's always Purana Purushottama. We call Paramatma as Purna Purushottama, which means he is completely happy. He is fully potential. He's completely happy. And those who attain his lotus feet will also be like him, like father, like son. We have a saying, So when you attain the lotus feet of Paramatma, that is mukti. Attaining lotus feet means that's what in Advaitam they say merging with the Almighty. So merging means what people literally think is like you become one. For an example, you merge so water. If you merge some more water into it, you can't actually identify. They all become one. So they think this way. The Advaitis think this way. No, merging means not like that. For an example, there is one thing. I just merge them like this. See, I keep them together. It's kind of merging. I don't know whether you can see it clearly. But here, this cup is different from this mobile phone. So this can be you put them together, but they are different. Similarly, each Jivatma, according to Visishtadvaita, we are all unique. So you're unique. I am unique. And your children, grandparents, your ancestors, your friends, we are all unique according to Visishtadvaita. So merging means we become like a huge community in Sri Vaikuntham as well. That's when Nitya Suri, Alvars, Acharyas, they all live in Paramapadam. That's the philosophy of Visishtadvaita. Though we live together, we each carry our own uniqueness, but because of the uniqueness, we are not different from others. Like one person is superior than other, or the other person is inferior to someone. It doesn't mean that way. So that is what Visishtadvaita is all about. It's like you can say unity in diversity, appreciating the strength and quality of everyone. That's beauty of Visishtadvaita. Not just you can use your common sense, that makes sense as well, isn't it? So when everything becomes one, when there is no, like a nirguna can be defined in various ways. Just imagine if everything becomes one and there is nothing to live on. Think about what are you going to achieve? It doesn't make any sense. That's why Kaivalyati, the Kaivalyam doesn't make any sense. On the other hand, Paratandriyam is you understand Paramatma is there, he is different from you. Serving him in the sense doing what he likes. That's it. He doesn't like you to be a slave to him, like a modern slave. Like we do like 1 to 5 job all the 7 days and pay mortgages endlessly. And some people don't even have a home. It's not like that, Vaikuntha, everyone is happy. Paramanandam, that Anandam, eternal bliss. So in the chapter 2, I'll just go on. The chapter 2. It starts Sankhya Yoga. This also starts with Sanjay Uvacha. Samtata kripaya vishtam asrapurna ulekshanam vishish vishidantam idam vakyam uvacha madhusudanaha vishidanta idam vakyam. Because in the last chapter, Arjuna was quite upset. He cried. So Sanjaya explains, seeing Arjuna full of compassion and very sorrowful, so distressed, his eyes brimming with tears, Madhusudana means Krishna, spoke the following words. Upon seeing the distress of Arjuna, Krishna said the following things, Bhavanuvacha. Next comes Bhavanuvacha. I'll Kutastva kashmalam idam vishame samupastitam anaryajoshtam asvargyam akirtikaram Arjuna. Arjuna, Krishna says, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the progressive value of life. They do not lead to higher planets, but to infamy. I'm just reading the translation. And the Kudaswa Kachmalam Idam. Krishna says Arjuna, like, why do you think this way? Krishna was not happy that Arjuna was very sorrowful, shedding tears, and he thought Arjuna was not competent to be a Kshatriya in that mood. So he wanted to uplift the mood of Arjuna. So he says this thing. Krishna did not say, oh, Arjuna, what a great man you are. Even in such a state of, in the battlefield, when you know what actually Duryodhana did, in spite of the knowledge, despite your wife, your beloved wife Draupadi being humiliated in front of the army, you are still very kind. When you look at the army of Duryodhana, you think they are your family, friends, and you want to really do something. You are so compassionate. You want to do something for them. Oh, what a great soul you are, Arjuna, like that. No, Krishna did not say anything like that. Krishna said, how these impurities came upon, like how did it come upon you? It's not at all befitting for a man, like who must do what dharma should be. So Krishna was, in fact, taking in charge of the entire situation and trying to put sense into the mind of Arjuna. Next shloka. Klaibyam smagama partha naitat tvayupapyat te shudram hrude daurbalyam tyaktotishta parantapa. And as I say, my Sanskrit may not be very correct. I try to do this because I don't even know whether there will be any follower or anyone will, learn this with me. But it just motivates. When I take this book, when I share this knowledge of Krishna, I feel very humble. I feel there is a purpose in life. We all can do something good to other people when we actually impart the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, even into the YouTube channel and Facebook. Even when I spread this thing, I feel very fortunate. So please bear with my Sanskrit pronunciation or Tamil, English, whatever it is. As I say, language is not my forte. I'm not so good at communication. But it's been 22 years since I, you know, before my marriage, I used to participate in debates. When I was a child, I used to be very good at communication. After that, in the last 22 years, my focus was not on any of these things. I was more like a simple um, Dharma Patni. I was trying to be a Dharma Patni, even though in a country where Dharma could not be practiced at all, I tried to. So in that process, I lost the touch of, this like a touch of communicating, the communication skill. So in the third shloka, because I read it in Tamil also, Krishna says again, "O son of Partha, how can you be like this? Do not yield to this degrading impotence." Krishna calls Arjuna impotent. It's a very strong word to use. It does not become you. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise. Don't be a coward. Krishna simply said to Arjuna that you should not be a coward. Oh, chastier of the enemy. You are a strong person. You are a chastier of the enemy. You can't be like that. So give up such petty weakness, heart. So Krishna chided, in fact, chided Arjuna and asked him to be very courageous. He called Arjuna impotent. He called Arjuna a very like a weak person, and like that. When Krishna said that, Arjuna was looking for some patronizing words. He might have been wanting to hear those patronizing words from Krishna, but on the other hand, he was simply chided by Krishna. He was simply told by Krishna that he was a coward. So Arjuna says the following thing to Krishna. Arjuna Vacha. कथं भीष्मम् अहं संख्ये द्रोणं च मधुसूदन इषुभिः प्रतियोत्स्यामि पूजार्हा हरिसूदन गुरुनः त्वा हि महानुभावान् श्रेयो भोक्तुं ऐप्यम् अपीह लोके हत्वार्थ कामास्तु गुरुनिहैव भुज्जीय भोगान् रुधिरप्रतिक्तान् न चैतत्विद्मः कतरन्नो करियो यत्पुज्जयेम यतिवानो जयेयुः यानेव हत्वा न जिजीविषामस्तेव स्थिताः प्रमुखे दार्धराष्ट्राः. I try to combine a few shlokas. So I read up to shloka 6. So the meaning of the fourth one, Katam Bhishmam, that killer of Madhu. Madhusudana means killer of Madhu. Madhu was we know, he was a Rakshasa. And Krishna killed Madhu. That's why he was known as Madhusudana. So Arjuna says, O killer of Madhu, how can he counter-attack with arrows in battle? Men like Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship. So when Krishna said Arjuna was covered, Arjuna was trying to defend himself, saying that how he could kill Bhishma and Drona. Bhishma was Pitamaha for Arjuna, for the entire clan, and Dronacharya is an Acharya from who? He learned everything. So Arjuna was so confused, not only confused, he was fully kind of, um, he had that conviction that he should not harm Bhishma and Drona. He was looking for some validation from Krishna as well. He was trying to defend, prove his point. How I can kill them? They're worthy of my worship. Because you worship Mata, Pita, Guru, Daivam. You put Guru ahead of your own parents, next to God. When you keep your Guru next to God, ahead of your parents, how can you show disrespect to them? So he was asking such questions to Krishna. And the meaning of the shloka 5, Gurun ahatvahi mahanubhavan. No, the shloka start. So he says, Arjuna says, it's better to live in this world by begging. He says, I would rather be a beggar than, uh, to live at the cost of the lives of great souls who are my teachers. Even though they are avaricious, they may be greedy, they may be following the path of adharma. Even though they are like that, they are nonetheless superiors to me. They are my teachers. I have no doubt about that, Krishna. They are my teachers, my superiors, worthy of my worship. If they are killed, our spoils will be, will be tainted with the blood. Krishna thinks even if they win the battle, the victory will be tainted with the blood of their teachers and acharyas and great relatives like Bhishmacharya. Nachaidat with Maha Kataran, no Guriyo. The shloka number 6, meaning for that is, nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. I don't know whether I have to conquer them or let them, let them conquer me. Uh, uh, the sons of Dhritarashtra, whom if we kill, we should not care to live, are now standing before us on this battlefield. So Arjuna was worried of even Dhritarashtra's children too, because they are in a way own brothers, killing own brothers and children of them. Because not only the children of Pandavas, even the children of all the Kauravas, they were all assembled in front of him. He had to kill his brothers, he had to kill his teachers, he had to kill his relatives, he had to kill his sons, because they were all against the Panchapandavas on the battlefield. So he did not understand. He said, which one would sound nice? I don't really understand, Krishna. Conquering, if I win them, the people might say, even Dronacharya was not capable of winning Arjuna. What kind of teacher he is? Oh, he is not competent. If I lose, then they might question the competency of my Acharya, Drona. They say, oh, Drona did not teach Arjuna very well. That was why Arjuna was not able to win it, because Drona always knew that his son Ashwatthama should be the great warrior. So he did not want people to think ill of his Acharyas too. So either way, he was so confused. And then again, he thought about his family, Duryodhana, his children. It's a very nice quality Arjuna had. Duryodhana was quite mean to them. Forget about what Duryodhana did to Panchapandavas. Just think about what happened to Draupadi. Any woman should not be treated that way, let alone Draupadi. So what Duryodhana and his Karna or Dushasana, they all did to Draupadi was not at all fair. So despite knowing all these things, Arjuna was still compassionate towards him. So it was a great quality in that was why Krishna chose to be the chariot driver of Arjuna. He wanted to guide Arjuna to do the right thing. So let us see what Krishna says. So after Arjuna's vacha, Sanjaya says, Arjuna continues to do like 700 Karpanya Dosho Pahata Swabhavaha Prachami Tvam Dharma Sammood Cheta Yashreya Sya Nishchidam Bruhidam Me Sishyasteham Shadimam Tvam Prapannam. Dharma Sammood Cheta. This shloka is very, very important one. This talks about Sharanagati of Arjuna. Arjuna says the following thing to Krishna. Krishna, now I am confused about my duty and have lost all my composure because of weakness. You rightly pointed out that I am very weak. Yeah, because of that weakness, I lost my composure. I'm so confused about my duty. What's the right thing? Dharma. Duty means dharma, the right one. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me clearly what is best for me. You have to tell me what is, because I'm so confused. My mind does not think anything very clearly. Please help me, Krishna. Please, you tell me what I have to do. You tell me it clearly. I will do that. Tell me clearly what is best for me. I will do. I am now, he says, the Sharanagati, the essence of Saranagati can be seen in this beautiful verse. Arjuna says the following things to Krishna, that he is then the disciple of Krishna. Krishna, he says, now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. See, he says, instruct me. Because when you take Sharanagati at the lotus feet of Krishna, you trust his words. Whatever Krishna says, you'll follow that. When you do that, that actually releases you from samsara. So the true bhakta will listen to the instructions, command of Krishna and follow it sincerely. So this shloka, number 7 of chapter 2, is very, very important because Arjuna has taken Sharanagati. Because Arjuna took Sharanagati, Krishna was guiding him. So you can see how Krishna started imparting the knowledge of Dharma, eternal truth, into the mind of Arjuna as the chapters, evolve. Chapter Shloka 8. Nahi prapachyami mamanu mamapanutyat yat chokam uchchoshana mintriyana avapya bhuma vasapatnam vruddham rajyam surana api chadipatyam. The meaning of this shloka is, the 8th one. Arjuna says the following things. Krishna, I can find no means to drive away this grief, which is drying up my senses. I will not be able to destroy it even if I win an unrivaled kingdom on the earth, with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven. So, Arjuna now says, even if I win everything in this Buloka, in this earth, and not just Duryodhana's kingdom, everything, just like a demigod, because demigods rule the heaven, like every planet, you see, the Surya means the sun is a planet of Surya. Chandra, moon is a planet of Chandra. Each demigod owns a planet itself. So here he compares himself with the demigods and says, even if I get the entire earth like a demigod and can rule over it forever, I would not be really happy to do this thing. I would not be happy to destroy them. So would I do only for a part of a kingdom? So he was just wondering whether it was worth. Shloka 9, Sanjaya Uvacha. एवमुक्त्वा ऋषिकेशं पुडाकेशः परन्तपः न योत्स्य इति गोविन्द मुक्त्वा दूष्णीं बभूवः तमुवाच ऋषिकेशः प्रहसन्निव भारत सेनयोर उपयोर्मध्ये विषीदन्तमिदं वचः. Two shlokas. Sanjay Uvacha. Sanjay said, he was just narrating the whole thing to Dhritarashtra, whatever that was happening. Having spoken this, Arjuna, chastier of enemies, told Krishna, Govinda, I shall not fight. It's very contradicting, isn't it? I shall not fight, Arjuna says. Because he, in the Shloka 7, you tell me what I have to do, I will do that. Then he says, Govinda, I shall not fight because I can't. So the Sharanagati was not full Sharanagati. So often we are in the position of Arjuna, we think that we took Sharanagati at the lotus feet of Embirmana, Ramanuja. We call ourselves Ramanujacharyas, Dasa, Ramanuja Dasi, Dasa, and all those things. But if we introspect ourselves, we can ask this question to our own self, whether we took our Sharanagati very seriously. Did we do Sharanagati very seriously? Are we really following the words of Ramanuja? It has all become more like a ritual, like I go, like in the morning you wake up, you brush your teeth, take bath, eat your breakfast. Even the breakfast has become more ritual, it's more or less like a breakfast cereal or idli or upma, something in the morning, some lunch in the afternoon, then dinner, then go to bed, get up, do the same thing. It's kind of a routine, how we live, eat, sleep, eat, sleep. Then we mate and produce offsprings. But do we live according to Dharma? According to Visishtadvaita Dharma, do we? We go to work, whether the work we do will be approved by Ramanujacharya? We don't question ourselves. Do we really contribute to the welfare of our community? Have we ever helped anyone when they are in distress? Do we do anything like that? So when you think of all those things, um, you might start figuring out what actually Alvars were saying. Tondan, 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 Tondaradi Puriyalvar. We discussed this yesterday also. So Arjuna, in one way, he wanted to be of service to people, the community. So he didn't want to destroy the community because he believed Duryodhana is also part of the same society. He didn't think that Duryodhana should be punished, his children should be destroyed, everything. He had that beautiful soul that wanted to forgive everyone. But at the same time, who can forgive? Will forgiving people be the answer to all the solution? Sometimes we want to forgive people because we are told to forgive, forget, that can do wonders like that. Do they? No. Sometimes if you forgive a weed and forget that it is there, that it exists, it will start spreading and eventually will destroy the good crops as well. Isn't it? So sometimes the poison can spread everywhere and kill the right thing as well. Sometimes it's very important to weed it out. So forgive, forget, they can sound nice, but it's more than that. The doing dharma is more than that. Sometimes you have to be very strong. You have to take a firm stand against adharma, even if it is your own family. A true disciple will be a true mumukshu will be like that. The person who is trying to become a mukta, they won't withstand adharma. Whoever it is, it can be your own family, it can be your own friends, community members. But sometimes you cannot support other. Can we live like that? Of course we can. If we can't live like that, the Veda will not ask us to live that way. But we don't take the courage to live that way. That's the problem. But if you want to overcome the samsara, we have to live according to Veda, according to Bhagavad Gita. So, saying that I shall not fight, Arjuna dropped his weapon and was quite silent. The meaning for the shloka 10, Tamuvacha Rishikeshaha Prah Sanniva Bharata Senayo Rupayo Madhye Vishitantamidam Vachaha. O descendant of Bharata, at that time, Krishna, smiling in the midst of both the armies, spoke the following words to the grief-stricken Arjuna. So, Krishna said the following thing. Krishna was full of smiles. See, you can see how Krishna chose the position in the army. Position in the sense like the how he used the platform, how he used that battlefield. He positioned himself between Kauravas and Pandavas. Though he was with Arjuna, he was in the middle of the battlefield. So everyone can see. So he was very impartial. He wanted people to listen to Bhagavad Gita, whether it is from the army of Duryodhana or from the Panchapandavas. He did not show any partiality. He wanted people to get the benefit of Bhagavad Gita. So he wanted to be he was very generous. He was not partial at all. He was not hiding the Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita from anyone. Even though Arjuna, it was only Arjuna who took Sharanagati and who requested Krishna to say, he chose to say Bhagavad Gita in the middle of the army so that everyone could follow Krishna. So the 11 shloka 11. So this is where the Upadesa of Krishna starts. The 11. Bhavanuvacha. Asocyan Anva Sochastvam Pranyavadan Shabashase Gatasun Agatasum Sha Nanasochanti Panditaha. The meaning of this shloka is, while speaking learned words, he is looking at Arjuna and saying this thing. Arjuna, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. It's not at all worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor the dead. So, those who are wise won't spend time lamenting for the living nor for the dead. Krishna says. It doesn't mean that you, fun example, loss and grief, they are part of our life. When you lose close relatives, you'll be grief-stricken. So does it mean that Krishna says you should not be grief, it's not worthy? No, you can't take that way. What Krishna says is, but that lamentation, it will be very painful, it will be very hurting, it's all, but it won't make anything. Just because your lament, would it change the fact that you lost the close relatives? But you can lament in a positive way, not in a negative way. So Krishna says those who are wise would not waste time on lamenting, because there comes a cash. Na pe vaham jatunasam na tva neme janadipaha na chaivana bhavishyamah sarve vayam atah param. Never there was a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. So Krishna clarifies. So you mean I cannot cry if I lose my close relatives, Krishna? Like, because he understands what's actually happening in the mind of Arjuna. So Krishna was answering all those questions that would be in the mind of Arjuna. Krishna says, the reason I told the wise people will not lament for those who died or for those who live, the reason is that never was there a time that, when I did not exist or you did not exist. We all existed. Now, these kings that you see, you look at and worry about, no, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. Krishna emphasized that as well. Even if you kill, it doesn't mean that you killed them. You kill only the body. The soul is eternal. So, Krishna makes sure the soul cannot be destroyed. It's indestructible. Then, after Shloka 13. देहि अस्मिन् यथा देहि कौमारं यवनं जरा तथा देहान्तरप्राप्तिर् धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यते. Krishna says, like he now explains, because he said, neither you nor I die, nor this king die, nobody dies. We all live forever. When Krishna said all these things, Arjuna had further confusions, So Krishna was clarifying those confusions in the mind of Arjuna. Let us see what Krishna says in this shloka. Dehinosmineta. Dehe. Dehi means your body. So as the embodied soul continuously passes, the soul passes from body to body. So he explains that as the embodied soul continually passes in this body from boyhood to youth. You can see how we transform, We were infants, baby, like then after childhood, youth, like adolescent, then middle age, old age. A soul similarly passes into another body at death. As we pass within our body from one stage to another stage, the body passes from one body to another body at the time of death. That's what Krishna says. So the self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change. So anyway, we will die, but we have to protect the soul. That's the philosophy of Vishishtadvaita. So we not only take care of the body, our focus is much on the soul. So that's what is like why we are all very unhappy despite having everything. There is some kind of unhappiness because we are not doing something for the soul. When you do something only for the body, bodily pleasures, bodily comforts, bodily attachments, when you do something, so your unhappiness will keep growing. You see very rich people. Sometimes these rich people will also experience that hollowness and the purposelessness. You might wonder, oh, they have everything. Why are they not happy? So material desires or material achievement cannot make everyone very happy. Even if you have something, you may still expect to have more. So material achievements, material desires can make one very greedy sometimes. You want to possess everything. See, you see that's happening, these multimillionaires, billionaires, those who invest, these big companies like Google, Microsoft, Apple, you see a lot of companies, they want to become huge, millionaire, billionaire, then trillionaire. It goes on. It doesn't end at all. They want to be the number one in the world. They want to amass all the wealth. Um, just imagine one entity, all the wealth of the world. With that entity, there will never be any equity, isn't it? So self-realized soul will not do such things. This is a material kind of thing. It will know after certain point of time there will be a tipping point. People will realize their mistake and there won't be any happiness. This will destroy the society the way the current trend is going, the materialistic aspect of success. People want to become big, um, even the college goers, we all want to become a startup company um, owners, the boss, big boss. We want to become a big corporate. We want to uh, own everything. Yeah, the kingdom itself is a corporate. The government should be the big corporate. Government should have all the king was always the richest person because the king took care of the citizens. But now it's more of privatization everywhere in the world. The globalization is nothing but privatization of particular corporate companies. Some companies, they rule the world. It is a very adharmic way of living. So Krishna actually explains all these things one after another in this chapter 2. Matra spashastu kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkadaha agama paino nityas tam sitikshashva bharat. The meaning of this shloka is, O son of Kunti, Krishna addresses Arjuna, O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception. O son of Bharata, O sign of Bharata, Krishna was very kind. See, son of Kunti, sign of Bharata. So he was very um, generous in appreciating Arjuna's background and valor and great kula, great family, his ancestors, everyone. That's why we are the Bharata Varsham, the whole thing. We are Mahabharata, which means like this is the story of this country, Bharata. But we belong to Bharata Varsham. So, sign of Bharata, one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. So, he says happiness and distress, they are non-permanent. It will come and go in due course, like winter and summer. Every season, every year this season will come. Winter, then summer, spring, autumn, everything, they just come and go. They come and go. It's like that. Happiness and distress will be part of our life. So, Arjuna, try to tolerate these feelings, which are non-permanent. Don't be bothered by that. 15th shloka. Yamhina Vyatayan Yete Purusham Purushashaba Sama Dukkha Sukham Dhiram Somrutotvaya Kalpate. So, meaning of this shloka is, oh, best among men, Arjuna, the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation. So he's talking about liberation. You wanted to take Sharanagati at my lotus feet. That's fine, fair enough. But let me explain you what mukti is. What is the purpose of the Sharanagati? Why a teacher like me want a disciple? The purpose of Sharanagati itself is to liberate yourself. You have to feel happy, eternal happiness, not the temporary happiness and distress. which is like changing season, like a summer, winter, every year it comes and goes, it's not permanent. You're worried of something which is not a permanent one. On the other hand, you can be eternally happy. There are ways to become eternally happy. Liberate yourself. You have to focus on those things that can liberate you from this cycle of birth and death, victory and loss, happiness and distress. You have to liberate yourself. Let me explain you that. Only the person who is not um, distressed by all these things, disturbed by all these things, can become a mukta. This. Then he further explained, Nasato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate satah. Vayorapi drushtontas va ananyostatva dashibihi. Those who are seers of truth have concluded that of the non-existent there is no endurance, and of the existent there is no cessation. The seers have concluded by studying the nature of both. The seers means those who are wise, the jnani. The jnanis say, for an example, if there is something which is, you think it is non-existent, for an example, you think the body is going to get destroyed, then what's the point of worrying? Anyway, it's going to be destroyed. And if you think it will not be destroyed, then there is no need to worry about that as well. So, because a true jnani knows, it doesn't make any sense if you worry for things which need not be worried at all. So, Krishna goes on explaining. For an example, here, existence, non-existent doesn't talk about our soul. It's not about Krishna saying whether it's he's not putting any doubt in our mind. When I said existent and non-existence, something that I did also mean about the soul. Let me explain you here. The non-existent, the existence, that term, which actually is not talking about the soul, but the changing nature of the body. For example, you are youth, then you become old. There are certain aspects of our life that keeps changing, which is known as Maya sometimes. So, Maya is something which changes. So, now I can't be a child, isn't it? I cannot live like a child now. I have the body. What I did during my child, I cannot do. What I did during my adolescence, I cannot do that because my body has totally changed. I don't have the capacity to do that. So we should not have to dwell on what we have to do is we have to understand the true nature of our life, the true nature of soul. What is the purpose of soul? We have to understand we are not this body. So we have to overcome our overly attachment towards, the body. And even scientists say, the energy can't be destroyed. It takes various forms. That's why Atma, if scientists believe that energy can't be destroyed, it takes from one form to another form. It takes various forms. Similarly, the Atma is energy. That's we all understand, there's a difference between dead body and a living body. We are very active. So there is an energy you can see in the living body. When the energy is missing in the living body, it becomes dead. So there is no energy at all. So where did that energy go? What happened to that energy? Where did it go? As we know, according to the science that we believe, energy can't be destroyed. So the soul should take another form. That's what Shastra says. Sometimes at the time of your death, if you think about certain things, that will happen. For example, Jadabharata was a great like a Rishi king, was a very wise king. He was like a very jnani. He was a wise person, seer. Despite being very, um, you know, composed seer, Jatapartha was thinking about a deer, an animal deer, at the time of his death. So he took birth as a deer. That's what uh, the Purana says. So that is why we are advised to engage in good karma. If you do bad karma, there is no guarantee that the next birth will also be uh, free of some samsara. So Krishna advises us to not worry about things which we don't have to worry about. Avinasitu tad vidhi yena sarvam idam tatam vinasam avyayasya na kashit kartum arhati. The meaning of this shloka is, know that which pervades the entire body is indestructible. It can't be destroyed. Imperishable, indestructible, he says. No one is able to destroy the imperishable soul. Even I can't, Krishna says, even I cannot destroy the imperishable, indestructible soul. It can't be destroyed by even Sudarshana Chakra. It means like from one form to another, you can destroy the body, release energy, which is Atma, which is soul from the body, and the soul can take another form. There is no guarantee that the another form can be much better than the previous form. So we have to always elevate our position. The energy should become um, great energy, good energy. We have to get better. The soul should get better as the days, as the yugas um, passes by. We have to become better and better. From human to from this planet to Vaikuntha, from human to Mukta. That could be an elevation, isn't it? So this is the meaning of Sloka 17. It's a relatively big chapter. Avinasi tad vidhi yena sarvam idam tatam vinasam avyayasyasya na kaschit kartamahati. Know that which pervades the entire bodies. We just read it. So body is indestructible. The soul is indestructible. Body is not permanent. So we should not worry about the body. We don't have to worry about the body. We don't even have to worry about the soul, which can't be destroyed. That's what in the previous step. இல்லாததற்கு இருப்பு இல்லை, இருப்பதற்கு இல்லாமை என்பதில்லை. In Tamil, it goes like that. So the body anyway cannot be protected. It cannot remain the same. So we don't have to worry about the body, the changing nature of the body. The soul, even if I want, I cannot destroy it because the nature of the soul can't be. Because of this thing, the soul is indestructible. Because of that Advaiti's thing, we all become one. All the energy become one. All the indestructible energy become one. Yeah, we live together as we do, but it's not like it all become like merged into one big energy kind of thing. No, it's not like that. The soul can feel. That's a beauty of the soul. The soul can feel all the energy, feelings, everything, the knowledge, everything. Soul is always wise. 18th. Antavanta ime deha nitya yokta saririnaha anasino prameyasya tasmat yudhyasva bharata. Again, he says, only the material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living entity, which is soul, is subject to destruction, or only this material body is subject to destruction. Therefore, fight, O descendant Bharata. So, Krishna says, you're fighting only against the material body. You're actually helping the bad soul of Duryodhana to be released from that body. Krishna was saying like that. See, this thing can look, it's all like, we have to learn, reflect upon the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita from the aspect of mukta. So Krishna said the body can't be destroyed. So I'm a Vaishnava, so I will kill anyone. Like, no, Krishna is not saying like that. So only in the battlefield, in the battlefield, they fought against each other. Before then, did they fight against each other? Krishna was even acting as a messenger. He went as a in a mediator between Duryodhana and Panchapandava. He sought for at least 5 small villages for Panchapandava so they could live decently. But Duryodhana was not willing to share anything with Panchapandavas. Then the war began. It's how the story goes. So Krishna advises Arjuna that the material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living entity, which is soul, is subject to destruction anyway. So therefore, you fight, my dear descendant of Bharata. Ya enam veti hantaram yas chaina manyate hatam. Ubau tauna vijanito nayan hantina hanyade. He who thinks that the living entity is a slayer or that he is slain does not understand. So we neither kill nor be killed. But if we think that way, we don't understand. That's what Krishna says. One who is in knowledge knows that the self slays not nor is slain. So the wise people know the soul never dies. This is what the meaning of the word. See, that's why the government sometimes, when some people misbehave, there is always a question, about whether capital punishment is needed or not. The reason people says we do not need to have capital punishment is because we are in the even I am against capital punishment. In spite of having the knowledge that soul cannot be destroyed and bad people should be punished, yeah, I have no second doubt. I like a second thought about it. I don't even have a doubt. Slightest possible doubt. No, I believe that bad people should be punished. Then only dharma can be sustained. No second thought about it. However, I'm against capital punishment because we live in the world of adharma. Just imagine if someone with power can accuse anyone they want, because it's happening. Even in my own life, personal life, I've seen a lot of things happening that way. Vulnerable people without power can be punished by those who are with power. So the capital punishment can be used wrongly by people with power to punish those who are against them. Whether they are good or bad, it doesn't matter. Even if they're good, if the people with power are bad, these people can misuse their power and, end the life of someone using the capital punishment. Many governments are tyrants because at the end of it, it's people who come to the power, So the capital punishment should not be a barrier to good people, So people don't want good people from being punished using the capital punishment. That's why many people strongly oppose capital punishment. I am one of those people. I strongly oppose it. However, when we know something for sure, I don't mind such punishment to be exercised. He who thinks that the living entity is a slayer of that he is slain does not understand. One who is in knowledge knows that the self slays not, nor is slain. So self here means Atma. Na jayate mrityate va kadachan nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyah. Ajo nitya sashvatho yam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Shloka 20. The meaning of the shloka is, for the soul, there is never birth nor death, nor having once been does he ever cease to be. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, undying, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. So he's talking again about soul. Soul is unborn because we are eternal. Eternal means we always existed. So the soul is not born. Only the body takes different forms. So we are, for the soul, there is no birth, no death. Having once been, does he ever cease to be? Like Anahati Kala, the soul exists. So he is neither born nor gone, is always eternal, ever existing. So the soul is undying and primeval. So the soul is not slain when the body is slain. It's very pretty straightforward, you know. Veda vinasinam nityam ye enam ajam avyayam khatam sa purusha partha kam gatya gatayati hantikam. Sloka 21. O Partha, how can a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, unborn, eternal, immutable, kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? How can it? So when something can't be destroyed, how can something, I mean, like, he asked this question to Arjuna, how something that can't be destroyed, that can't be born, that is always born, that is eternal, immutable, can be killed by other people or can kill other people as well? No, because both, if something can't destroy other thing, the other thing can't be destroyed by anything. How can they both destroy each other? Like, so Krishna is asking all these questions to Arjuna. For example, just imagine this is one soul, this is one soul. This can't be destroyed, this can't be destroyed. So what is the purpose of worrying about that? So you don't have to worry about things. But when the body, so if you drop the mug, it can break into pieces. The body can be destroyed, but the energy within the body, which is soul, cannot be destroyed according to Krishna. So we have to understand the soul concept. The Krishna is trying to make sense. And also helping Arjuna to understand the characteristic of soul, the characteristics of Atma. Again, in Visishtadvaitam, we have this Tattvam, the Paratantriyam, the Atma Swarupam. So if you understand the Swarupam of Atma, if you understand the characteristics of Atma, you will have a lot of clarity. If the Atma cannot be destroyed, and the purpose of Atma is to serve Paramatma, then everything becomes quite clear, So we all become only subservient to Paramatma. Though he doesn't treat us subservient, we are subordinate to Paramatma, and we are all same. There is equality among all of us. No one is higher than the other among Jivatmas. So Krishna helps us understand the purpose. All the soul. It's not talking about Kshatriya soul, Brahmana soul, Shudra soul. Varnashrama is just about the profession, the qualities of someone who wants to engage in the service, So Varnashrama is different, but soul, same. Krishna is not talking about one particular Varnashrama, which is a Brahmin or Kshatriya or Shudra or Vaishya. He's not saying only one community of soul can live eternally, the rest will die. No, he's not saying like that. If you look at the philosophies of some other religion, they say only certain soul can be protected during salvation. The rest will be destroyed. No, Krishna doesn't say like that. Nobody will be destroyed. Everyone gets mukti. Everybody eternally, everybody attains the lotus feet of Perumal. So that is the belief of Visishtadvaitam. Vasamsi jirnani yadha vihaya navani gruhnadi naroparani dada sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani samyadi navami dehi. The meaning of this one is, as a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones. Similarly, the soul accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. Not just the war, as you age, sometimes, 70, 80, 90, people slowly, um, starts getting rid of their body itself. The soul tries to get itself, you know, released from the body, the old body, withering body, from the old body to new body. So, um, he compares this with the analogy, like as you put new garments, for an example, if it is worn out, completely worn out, if the dress is worn out, you buy new dress, isn't it? Then you wear it. As you buy new garments, giving up old ones, the soul also accepts new material body. The body is destructible. In spite of the fact, the body helps the soul to carry certain duties. So, for doing proper karma, the good karma, you need a good body. That's why Manushya body. This is very, very significant. Soul is same. That's why true Vaishnava will not kill other animals, will not kill even insect, because the soul is same. Whether it's ant, fly, tiger, goat, cow, pig, any animal or human being, the soul is same. So soul is same. Every small jivatma, right from ant to pig, cow to human being. Krishna lives in the heart of all these jivatmas. So Antaryami lives in the heart of all the jivatmas. No partiality at all. So next shloka 23 and 24. Nainam chintanti sastrani nainam tahati bhavaka na chainam क्लेतयन्त्योपो न शोषयति मारुदः अच्छेत्योऽयम् अतः ह्योऽयम् अक्लेद्यो चोष्य एव च नित्यः सर्वगतः स्थाणुर् अचलोक्यं सनातनः. So 24 till 24, 23 and 24. I'll say the meaning of them. The soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapon, nor can he be burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. I say he, soul is neither he or she or uh, any gender for the sake of, like a kind of a figure of speech, just to say it. We use the word he. So it doesn't mean the soul is he or I'm like supporting the patriarchal ideologies. No, it's not that. Purusha to me is genderless. We call Purusha, Krishna Purusha. Purusha is neither male nor female according to our words. So the soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapon, nor can be burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. Can't be dried by the wind. Then this individual soul is unbreakable and insoluble and can be neither burned nor dried. He is everlasting, all-pervading, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. It is eternally the same. So the individual soul is unbreakable, insoluble, neither burn nor dried, everlasting, all-pervading, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally same. So Krishna clarifies the characteristics of the soul. Avyaktoyam achintyoyam avikaryoyam uchyate tasmad evam viditvainam nanusochitim arhasi. The meaning of this one is same. It can look same. It is said that the soul is invisible. You can't see it. Soul is invisible, inconceivable. You can't think of the nature of the soul with a normal brain, inconceivable. It's beyond our imagination. Immutable and unchangeable. No mutation for soul. All soul eternally the same. That's why Divya Swarupam, Atma Swarupam, Divya Swarupam in Bhagavad Gita, the Divya Swarupam of the soul, the true purpose of the soul, the true nature of soul, the true characteristics of soul is full of Divya Swarupam according to Visishtatvedam. Divya Swarupam means full of knowledge, full of opulence, full of everything, full of all greatness that we can think of, not even think of, beyond our thinking. Knowing this, you should not grieve for the body. Atachainam nityajatam nityam va manyase mritam tatapi tvam mahabaho nainam sochitam arhasi. If however you think that the soul is perpetually born and always dies, for example, if you think the soul is perpetually born and always dies, still you don't have to worry about or lament about that. Krishna tries to say the other argument for the argument's sake. People say, no, how can you prove? Because we can't understand certain things. We challenge people to prove that, Okay, fair enough. Even if you believe the soul is something born and always dies, anyway, Duryodhana is going to die. What can be the better opportunity for a great warrior to win a good battle? So he's trying to clarify the other part of it, even for the doubtful mind. $27. Jatayasyo hi dhruvo mrityur dhruvam janma mrityasya cha tasmat aparitharyeruthe or tasmat apariharyerthe na tvam sochitam arhasi. For one who has taken his birth, death is certain. And for one who is dead, birth is certain. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. So, if one has to take birth, then he has to die. Death is also certain. No one, we talk about Ashwatthama, Anjaneya, some Chiranjeevis. Let's not go into that part because soul itself is Chiranjeevi, eternal. But we're talking about the body now. Okay, so the body is destructible only. So for those who think the body as soul, identify the body as soul, the living body as soul, Krishna says, if you think your living body as soul, you have to do the right karma because the living body needs to do certain things in order to exist, isn't it? So it is unavoidable for you to perform your duty. So choose your duties wisely according to Varnashrama Dharma. So you will be at least happy. You can do only certain things, to keep yourself happy. If you ask the child to do the duty of an adult, will the child be happy? He can pretend to be an adult, but child loves to play, even only in like a role play. It wants to play like a parent, doctor, teacher, but doesn't want to take the responsibility of a father or teacher or doctor, something like that. It enjoys playing, the child. All the children, they enjoy playing, but that's not actual duty. Here, the duty of a child is to enjoy childhood. Similarly, everyone has a duty. Parents, they have certain set of duties. The teachers will have certain set of duties. That's what Varnasrama Dharma is. Grahastha Varnasrama, Shakti, it's classified into four sects, like ashrama, Grahastham, Shanyasham, Vanaprastham, and Brahmacharyam, four ashrama. And here, the profession, that has four as well, like a Brahmana, Vaishya, and Kshatriya, Shudra. This Grahastham, these ashrama common for all these Varnashrama. The Brahmin can become a sannyasi, Shudra can also become a sannyasi. All the people, right, Brahmin to Vaishya to Kshatriya to Shudra, they can all become Grahastha, they can all undertake Brahmacharya, Ashram, they can all become sannyasi, they can all undertake Vanaprastham. So these four are common for all the people. So their duties. So do your duty, don't lament, Arjuna. Krishna says that. Avyaktadini bhutani vyakta madhyani bharata avyakta nidane eva tatraka paridevana. All created beings are unmanifest in their beginning, manifest in their interim state, and unmanifest again when they are annihilated. In the beginning, like how it existed. It says, in the beginning, all beings are created. They slowly evolve from one state to another state. They manifest in their interim. They manifest. The manifestation keeps happening. Then, when the Pralaya Kala, when this entire planet is annihilated, the soul again, that's what Ulagamunda Peruvaya, Krishna says, all the souls goes back to his stomach. Again, they give this analogy, he swallows and spits. When he spits, all the souls that are not delivered means to Vaikuntha, that has not attained mukti, they will again be born into the samsara even after the pralayam. Certain souls will still remain, a huge amount of soul. We keep saying it. That's why when you understand the cycle of birth and death, when you become a mukta, you reach Vaikuntha. The Vaikuntha is a place that cannot be destroyed. It's more like soul. It's a soulful planet. The planet which has a soul, the planet which can't be destroyed, that planet is known as Vaikuntha. Rest of the planets, including sun, they all have certain duration. That's why, other than Vaikuntha, all the stars can be destroyed. They have certain, destroyed in the sense, the energy takes various forms. We call black hole, white hole, the entire universes can collapse, Again, they can manifest. That's what there's manifestation and manifestation. So two things are always there. So why are you lamenting, Arjuna? Krishna asks. Ascharyavat pashyati kaschid enam ascharyavat vadati tathaiva chanyah ascharyavat chainam anya shrunoti shrutvapi enam vedana chaiva kaschid. Some look on the soul as amazing. Oh, this Atma. Some look at the Atma as amazing. Some describe Atma as amazing. Some look at it, some describe it as amazing. Some hear of him as amazing. While others, even after hearing about him, cannot understand him. The Atma is generally mentioned as him. Again, as you say, it has got no gender. For the convenience sake, we, like for figure of speech, we use the word he, him, like that. So people wonder about soul. It's, oh my God, people talk about it, wonder about it. But those who say as if they know about soul, they really don't know anything about it. People talk about as if they knew about soul, but they still do not understand anything about it. देहि नित्यम् अवध्योयं देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं सोचितुम् अर्हसि. 30th shloka, the meaning of the shloka is, O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body is eternal and can never be slain. Therefore, you need not grieve for any creature. So again, he talks about the nature of the soul, which is eternal and can never be slain, because they are in the middle of the battlefield. So that's why he's talking about all these things. It can't be slain. So don't worry about it. Don't grieve for something that's not going to happen at all. No harm to the soul. Only the body will be destroyed. It's anyway going to be destroyed. Whether you destroy it or I destroy it, it doesn't matter. Even if we both do not destroy it, the body is going to destroy itself. But that's the nature of the body. I say, just some people now, we see, at 40 they get heart attack, 20, 30 people get heart attack. We don't even know why the body fails miserably these days. So the nature of the body is to be destroyed, whether we protect it or not. Some people take so uh, very great care, but still, despite having organic food, proper exercise, everything, some people uh, pass away just like that, you know. So, which is an example of the nature of the body and the nature of karma too, how karma, everything can uh, influence. So, Krishna advises Arjuna not to grieve. It's almost 2 a.m. here. It's 2 a.m., more than 2 a.m. I just want to finish. It's a very long chapter. It's got 72 shlokas. Maybe I'll stop with 35. So, another 36 could be, I'll stop with 36. Swadharmamapi chavekshya na vikampitum arhasi dharmyadi yuddhat shreyonyat kshatriyasya na vidyate. Now, Krishna is talking about the dharma of kshatriya in the 31st sloka. Considering your specific duty as kshatriya, Arjuna, you should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting on religious principles, and there is no need for hesitation. So, religion, dharma, the set of principles are known as religion. So, people say, I'm not religious, because religion, when we say religion, people think of false principles, that doesn't make sense. But we all have a religion. Country, the law itself is a religion. People follow certain things in order to live in harmony. So here, dharma, the true dharma should be the religion. If you all follow dharma, dharma means that is eternally good for everyone, not just for one person. Or For all the Jivatmas, Dharma will do only good for everyone. So considering your specific duty as Kshatriya, you should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting your religious principles. And so there is no need for hesitation. Krishna says this to Arjuna. So for a Kshatriya, there is nothing better than fighting a good war, according to Krishna. Then 32. Yadruchaya Chopapanam Swarga Dwaram Apavrutam Sukinaha Kshatriyaha Partha Labante Yuddham Idrusham. O Partha, happy are the Kshatriya to whom such fighting opportunities come unsought. See, you did not seek to fight, it came unsought, opening for them the doors of the heavenly planets. So, for a good Kshatriya, if they fight a good war, the doors of the heaven, even when your body gets destroyed in the process of fighting, your body will be destroyed, no doubt about that. But your soul will reach heavenly planets. Heavenly planets are higher planets, which are better than the earth. So Krishna says, promises that Arjuna, like any Kshatriya who fights the battle of Dharma, will always be attaining the higher planets. They'll be elevated from one planet to the higher planet. Atachetvam imam dhamyam sangramam na karishyasi tatashva dharmam kirtim cha hitva papam avapsyasi. If, however, you do not fight this religious war, here religious means the war of dharma. Okay, in English, religion is a word which can be interpreted in many ways, but in Bhagavad Gita, religion means only dharma. Dharma is translated as religion in English. That's why English is a very complex. It's a different language. Sanskrit is a different language. You cannot do justice for the shlokas of Sanskrit using a different language such as English. But that's why I try to use the word dharma whenever there is a word religion, so you understand what I actually mean. What I mean is what Krishna actually means here. If, however, you do not fight this, if you do not fight this religious war, then you will certainly incur sins for neglecting your duties and thus lose your reputation as a fighter. Then Krishna says the next shloka, Akirtim chapi bhutani katha ishyanti te vyayam samba vitasya chakirtir marana atirichyate. People will always speak of your infamy. How coward Arjuna was, we will talk about if he did not fight, we would talk about all those things. And so people will always speak of your infamy. And for one who has been honored, dishonor is worse than death, according to people. Even many people, the dignity is more, the honor, the honor and dignity are more important, valuable for people. Dishonor is worse than death. Bhayat ranat uparatham mam syante tva maharataha yesham cha tvam bahu mato bhutva yasyasi lagavam. So meaning of this one, 35. The great generals, the warriors who have highly esteemed your name and fame, will think that you have left the battlefield out of fear only, and thus they will consider you a coward. People will think you as a coward. They won't think that you were very compassionate towards Duryodhana and his family and all those things, all the blah blah blah. They won't think of anything like that. Instead, they will think that you left the battlefield out of fear. So Krishna is actually trying to encourage Arjuna to engage in right dharma. Even if he goes out, people is not going to, um, you know, sing his fame. People will say that he was a coward. So, with the 36th shloka, I'll finish today's part. Avachya vadamscha bahun vadishyanti tavahitaha nindantastava samartyam tato dukkataram nukim. Dukkataram nuk shamika pratana. Nindantastava samartyam tato dukkataram nukim. The meaning of the 36th shloka is, your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and scorn your ability. What could be more painful for you? So he said, worse than dishonor is worse than death itself. What can be more painful than this? People will scorn your ability. People who said, Arjuna, whatever, like Partha, people who called you all those things would say that you are a coward, and they would scorn your ability. What could be more painful than this for you? Krishna asked this question to Arjuna. So Lord Krishna was astonished in the beginning at Arjuna's uncalled for plea for compassion, and he described his compassion as befitting the non-Aryans. Now, in so many words, he has proved his statement against Arjuna's so-called compassion. It's like compassion. We say, no, Arjuna was compassionate, but it's not befitting. Arya, here the word Arya is used. Arya and Dravida, these two words are often used in India. Arya means people with noble qualities. It doesn't mean Brahmins. Arya doesn't mean Brahmins. Arya means people with noble qualities. Dravida means those who live in the southern part of the Indian, the Bharatavarsham, the southern part. Because Bharatavarsham was so huge. So Dravida means those who lived at the bottom of the Bharatavarsham, like Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, Andhra, Kerala, Sri Lanka, all these places were considered Dravida. So these words are also often mistaken, misconstrued, and misinterpreted by the politicians in the modern times. So let us not become victim of this politics. Let's understand the actual meaning of the word. Aryan means people with noble quality. That's it. Brahmana means those who have realized Brahma, who is Brahma, soul, everything, this knowledge. So Brahmanism doesn't mean that bad qualities. Good quality. Anyone can become a Brahmin with the realization. That's the Sri Vaishnava is up, considered one step up. Then all these were Nashrama. Being a Sri Vaishnava, you become a mukta, not just mukshu, you become a mukta as well when you follow the teachings of Ramanuja Acharya. So Sri Vaishnava is much higher than these Varnashrama Dharma. So with the 16th shloka, I finished this chapter. I'll just sing the Mangalam. So tomorrow we will see. It's been more than two or 3 hours. I don't know. My apologies for that. I just want to complete chapter 2. as much as I can. So 36, tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I'll do the part 2. Then we will do the realization of part 2 as well. I'll sing the Mangalam. श्रीरङ्गमङ्गलनिधिं करुणानिवासं श्रीवेङ्कटाद्रिशिखरालयकालमेघं श्रीहस्तिशैलशिखरोज्ज्वलपारिजातं श्रीशं नमामि शिरसा यदुशैलदीपं लक्ष्मीचरणलाक्षाङ्क साक्षात् श्रीवत्सवक्षसे श्रीमङ्कराय सर्वेषां श्रीरङ्गेशाय मङ्गलम् वृन्दारण्यनिवासाय बलरामानुजाय च रुक्मिणीप्राणनाथाय पार्थसूताय मङ्गलम् श्रीमते रमिजामातृमुनीन्द्राय महात्मने श्रीरङ्गवासिने भूयात् नित्यश्री नित्यमङ्गलम् श्रीभूतपुरे वेङ्कटलक्ष्मण मुनिमानसवासिने श्रीयपन्परकाल रामानुजयम्बान्मुनये नित्यश्री नित्यमङ्गलम् श्रीमन्महार्य करुणालब्ध विज्ञान संपते श्रीशैललक्ष्मणमुनये नित्यश्री नित्यमङ्गलम् मङ्गलाशासन परैर् मदाचार्य पुरोगमैः सर्वैश्च पूर्वैराचार्यैः सत्कृतायास्तु मङ्गलम्. Alvar Imbirmana Jethrudigli Sranam Acharyendradigli Sranam Goshathrudigli Sranam. Today is a very significant day. Today, our Sri Ambar Mutt has got a new pontiff. We got Vartamana Ambarjiyar Swami today. He glorified the Peetam again. We believe the all Acharyas are saying Sri Ambarjiyar means Ambarjiyar only for us. So again, take this day using the words of Krishna. You know, in our sampradaya, we can do Mangalasasanam to even Krishna. So I can also do Mangalasasanam to the Vartamana Ambarjiyar Swami. So again, using the words of Krishna and Alvar Acharya Imbirmanar, do Mangalasasanam for the Acharya. Let him carry the legacy of Sri Ambarjiyas, all the Sri Ambarjiyas, Udayar, Alvars, and Kannan Imbirman himself. Let him be the, enlightening force for all the disciples, for all the followers of Sri Vaishnavas. May Swami live long and spread Sanatana Dharma and Sri Vaishnava every nook and corner of this world. Adiyan Ramanujadasi.